Hi, Katie. Thanks so much for being on this call, and thank you so much for being involved in this amazing project with like Salli and like NDL. Can you tell us more about the Natulon zippers that you're using on this project?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Katie. I'm based in the YKK showroom, which is in Shoreditch in central London. So I deal with a lot of clients based in London, but we also push very much to everyone to start using sustainable items now, or more environmentally friendly options. So Natulon is our biggest, I would say, item that has the most possibilities at the moment, because we've actually been producing it from the mid-90s. So it's essentially a recycled polyester zip. So it's still polyester, but the fact that it's recycled is good. It comes from all sorts of different places, but like PET bottles is one example of where the raw recycled materials come from. We have two different types of Natulon as well. So we have the material recycled one, which is the most widely available one globally, which is the one that's been used in this collection. So it has a very high recycled content versus our other option, which is the chemical recycled. So the chemical recycled one has a slightly lower percentage of recycled content, but it's actually designed for more closed loop systems. So the chemical recycled type is easier to recycle and to be made into fabric again or into another garment.
I think what it is that this sort of like zipper, obviously it uses a lot of recycled elements, right? So that's probably why it's a lot more better than getting a normal zipper that you would from any other supplier. So it's definitely a step in like the right direction of how to do a more conscious.
Yeah, definitely. And also it depends on the element finish that you choose. So I know that Sally's used like a silver finish, which is it's called like YMRC, which is like a manganese base metal. So that's, that option in itself is a more sustainable option. And of course brass, because they usually don't need any extra platings on them. If you go for an antique brass or an antique silver, you're just adding more processes to the elements, or the slider and puller, in fact. So they're now developing new ways of making these, like, I guess, popular plating options, but in the most sustainable way possible. So they're just naturally moving over to the sustainable option, or the more environmentally friendly option. So the customer won't have a choice in a sense. They're just going to get the more environmentally friendly option.
In the future, your company is going to slowly eliminate some of these other harsher ways of finishing metals, and you're already doing it anyway, right?
Yeah, they're already doing it. So everything, they use in some factories, they've got like solar energy that makes the whole factory run, and then you've got the new type of plating, which is called acro plating. So that's just a much more environmentally friendly way, and has far less processes than the old version. So slowly but surely we're moving in the right direction, but it's such a big undertaking that it's going to take time, I think. But they hope to be carbon neutral by 2050, and by 2030 they want all like materials that we source to be sustainable as well. So
amazing.
They're pushing very, very hard.
It's important, because you're such a, you're one of the major components, a bit like Fred. You're very important. You're everywhere. Every major company uses you. So you make one decision company wide, then it influences the whole world, really. So it's quite amazing that you're heading in a direction where you're using less harmful chemicals and plating options. So, and you're giving, and end of the day, the zipper awesome. So, and it still functions the same. So that's the important thing.
Yeah, the quality is always very important for YKK. So whenever they develop something new, they have to do a lot of testing to make sure that it meets the previous standards. So having a raw polyester tape and a recycled one, of course the materials, the base materials that it's coming from are completely different, but they want it to match the same levels. So they're quite strict about that, actually. So
okay. So what does the future hold, really? Obviously you're saying like you're hoping to be carbon like neutral. You're heading towards more like recycled elements in all of your productions when it comes to the metals and the zipper tapers for tape as well. But is it just more of that development? I know you do tensile lysol zipper tapes. You do lots of other things too. So
yeah, so we have organic cotton zipper tape and like the lensing tensile zipper tape as well. They both come in their raw states. It's sort of more towards like garment dye, so you would kind of construct the whole item and then dye it together. But the newest innovation is we've got Green Rise. The Green Rise was after Naturalon. So that basically is taking the waste molasses from the sugarcane industry and it's trying to create a more carbon neutral item. So it is actually a mixture between molasses and polyester content. So 70% polyester, 30% molasses material. But just by having that 30% in there, the item is way more carbon neutral than just a standard zip alone.
wow.
That we're very thoughtful about the environment. There's loads of projects that we do, like not just a zip, that it's like local community-based things that are to help the community really, which is a totally different side of sustainability and being conscious. So
the aspects of the work.
There's so many different aspects to it, you know, the longevity of a garment, you know, how we don't want it to break, because usually if the zip breaks, then people are like, oh, that's no good anymore, let's just chuck it out, which
the garment away,
is exactly what we don't want. So there's so many things to consider when it's coming to making eco-conscious options, I think.
Wow, I think you've answered all our questions. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope so.
No,
I hope so.
Really, really informative, and it's really amazing that you guys are so conscious and thinking about the future and future-proofing your company and really thinking ahead about, you know, because you're such a big like responsibility you guys have got on your shoulders, and it's good that you're always constantly trying to think of sustainable solutions for all of your product options. So thank you for being involved in this project.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.